Hello, everyone. You are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news. How federal government plans to increase VAT to 7.2% affects you. Why the federal government plans to increase VAT and how it could affect you if the National Assembly approves. In a bid to increase government revenues, the Federal Executive Council has approved plans to increase value-added tax (VAT) from 5% to 7.2%. This represents a 44% increase. VAT has remained at 5% since January 1st, 1994, when it became active. This was made public in a series of tweets by Tolu Ogunlesi, the President's Special Assistant on Digital and New Media. According to Tolu, this was one of the decisions taken at the Federal Executive Council meeting held on Wednesday at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Nigeria collected about 1 trillion naira in VAT in 2018. A 44% increase could generate over 400 billion naira in additional revenue for the government if everything remains constant. In a series of tweets, Tolu reported as follows, saying the government wants to increase VAT from 5% to 7.2%. The announcement kickstarts the commencement of the process for increasing VAT. This does not mean VAT will be automatically increased. For VAT to be increased, the National Assembly will have to approve it and pass an amendment to the current VAT Act, following which the President will append his signature. The process could take months, if not years. Tolu also confirmed that part of the process will involve extensive nationwide consultations. Consultations will mostly be with the organized private sector, Nigeria Labour Congress and other labor unions, foreign investors and multilateral organizations, media, state governors, and members of the National Assembly. Government revenue. Nigeria is widely believed to be facing a revenue crisis following the drop in oil prices in 2014. Since the Buhari administration assumed power in 2015, government revenue has failed to hit the height of the immediate past administration, which was over 12 trillion naira. In 2018, total revenue accruing to the Federation account was about 7.1 trillion naira compared to budget of 10.4 trillion naira. It was worse in 2017 at about 4.9 trillion naira. VAT revenues are also a significant portion of government revenues. In 2018, total VAT revenue accruing to the Federation account was 1.04 trillion naira, or 14% of revenues. Dire Straits. The federal government in a more precautionary situation last year, it budgeted 7.1 trillion naira as targeted revenue and only actualized 3.8 trillion naira in collection. As of this amount, VAT collection was about 146.5 billion naira. Target is 207.5 billion naira. Though the federal government relies less on VAT, it still needs as much as it can get for itself while helping our state scoop more money. State and local governments collect about 75% of VAT, leaving the federal government with 15%. The federal government makes more money from its share of company income taxes and custom import duties, where it collected 660 billion naira and 296.7 billion naira respectively. Total non-oil revenue was about 1.1 trillion naira. Then, how VAT affects you? Nigerians will have to wait to see how the consultation pans out over the next few months. If the federal government is able to convince various stakeholders, then it could likely sign the act amending the increase. Implementation could be January 1st, 2020, just like it was in 1994. There will be major pushbacks from unions who have also just secured increases in the minimum wage. Unions could call for a lesser increase, reducing it from 7.2% to anything else above 5%. Nigeria has one of the lowest VAT rates in Africa. VAT is a consumption tax and it is borne by the final consumer, who is mostly an ordinary citizen of Nigeria. In addition to VAT, Nigerians also pay personal income tax, withholding taxes and sales taxes as collected by some state governments, Lagos especially. They will be most hit by a raise as their disposable income will be dented further. The executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Babatunde Fowler, also recently retweeted that the payment of VAT on vatable online transactions is required by the law. If the increase is passed by law, there will likely be an increase in online transaction costs. Nigerians will see an increase in nearly all items except the 11 items that are currently exempted. Corporations are merely collecting agents for the government and only incur a VAT cost when they are finally consumers or fail to net off their VAT from purchases from VAT on sales. So guys, that is what it has been explained, but in a simple term that we can really relate with. All these VAT, whether it is a value added tax, whether it is a income tax, whether it is a consumption tax, with whatever, on how they are going to make more revenues, it's just for now for them to make more revenues. That is just the old English on how to collect tax so that they'll be able to do a lot of things. But the question you are going to ask, they will tell you, oh, a lot of people don't even pay tax. They will start quoting, oh, other countries that they pay tax, that Nigeria is the lowest country that that their tax level is so low. But as many that are paying the taxes for the now, what have they used it for? Because at the end of the day, when they make that revenue, it is still going to be what they are going to use to fund their lavish lifestyle. They always tell the masses, oh, you have to sacrifice, you have to make sacrifice. But have they made sacrifice? They've not made any sacrifice. When they make budget, it is for them first to be able to settle their own all those allowances. People will come and say in their defense, even they themselves, they defend it. Oh, what we collect, it is not by our making, it is what has been established by the law. Then why can't you guys change that law? That is the kind of bills they are supposed to propose and pass to reduce all of those humongous salaries and allowances you guys collect. But at the end of the day, the masses will be the people that will bear the brunt. The ones you are collecting, what have you done with them? The revenues we make from other places, how do you manage them? How have you been able to manage them for us to see? Everything goes on corruption. Everything, some people will embezzle. And at the end of the day, nothing will happen to them. Yes, they will just make noise about it. Oh, they will say somebody is having a case with the EFCC. Oh, some cases are in court. It will take forever. Something that is not supposed to take time. Just the way they handled Onohe's case. That is the way we are supposed to be handling a lot of these cases, that concerns these big politicians. No, they won't do that. They will not sacrifice. At the end of the day, it is still come back to affect us. Some people will tell you, oh, there are some items that it will not affect. But in general, no matter how you want to do it, from the past experiences, it will still affect the masses, common man. Now they are talking about, they are trying to bring the issue of a subsidy, to remove subsidy and all of that. That it might help, it might not help. But like the case of this subsidy, most of these politicians, most of these people that are benefiting from this subsidy, they wouldn't want it to happen. And the same government that was crying, that was complaining that subsidy shouldn't be removed, that if it was removed, then it would have caused a lot of hardship on people, on the masses. Are we not experiencing hardship up to now? Are we not experiencing hardship? We are still experiencing all those hardship. So what are we talking about? Even if you collect the taxes, Nigerians are ready to pay irrespective, no matter the amount of that taxes that you want to collect, no matter the percentage. But if you guys are going to be sincere about it, no problem, and we are going to see what you are doing with it. Not that you'll be quoting some project, you'll be quoting this, quoting that, and the development must go round. You should not just be pointing, oh, don't you see what is happening in so state? Oh, the federal government has done this. The development must go holistically, and you guys must cut up your allowances. That is when Nigerians will take you serious. Nigerians are law-abiding people. If they see that from your own end, you are sincere. That is just the whole thing. Nobody can trust all these politicians. They are all the same. Nobody can trust them. And they always talk about change. Change must start from you. It must start from you. You that initiated that change. It must start from you. We must see it. Guys, do you know that these people, they collect a hardship allowance? That is what they do. There's something that they call hardship allowance. Who is supposed to be collecting hardship allowance? Is it not the masses that are not employed? Some of the masses that are not employed are supposed to be taking some of money to be able to, to go on with their lives until when they get a job. That is what is obtainable in other climes. But what do we have here? It is these politicians that are collecting all these allowances, yet they are collecting, what is it called, this hardship allowance. So this VAT they want to increase. Of course, you listen to what they have said, that they want to increase it from 5% to 7.2%. At the end of the day, who is it going to affect? It's you and I that the whole thing will affect. I just want to take some of the opinions of people here. Someone say more money to be collected from the masses and to be stolen by those in power. It is well. Steal from Peter so he can rob Paul. If you see, APC and Buhari government of operation, no iota of consideration of what the masses are going through since he came into power. They have totally forgotten what they promised Nigerians during their campaign. No Nigerian will be fooled again henceforth. Oh, the president has already come and said, oh, he does not intend to add more hardship on the masses, but it is just talk. But we need to see the reality. The only thing they will be telling you, they will be giving people 10,000 for trader money. You can imagine the people that even returned from South Africa, see what they are giving them. But that's not even the issue. But we that we are on ground, what have they done to us, or they've done for us? It is 10,000 naira trader money. The question is that go and ask the people that collected that 10,000 naira whether their lives have changed for the better, whether it has changed anything in the first place. So guys, I would like to end here. I would want you to, let us deliberate on this. All those of you who are gurus, when it comes to the economies and the taxation and all of that, we want to hear from you. We are speaking as a layman, on how it's going to affect us, all those BB grammars, on how it's going to affect us positively or negatively. So please leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.